Hi friends, welcome back or welcome to the channel. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm T and this is my YouTube channel, Compassing and Sewing. Today we're doing a pattern review of the Butterick B6946. So this is a pattern that has two patterns in one envelope. So you have the top and then you also have the shorts. So I'm going to be doing the review of the shorts. I have not made the top yet, but when I make the top, I'll do a review of the top and I'll let you all know when I post that video. So this pattern has four groups of sizes. So you can get the 4 to 12, the 12 to 20, the 20W to 28W, and the 30W to 38W. So you do have plus sizes. So, and all of those sizes that I just listed in those groups are in its own separate envelope. So you have four different envelopes there. So you will need to know your size before you actually pick this pattern up. So I got the group 12 to 20 and I did the size 16. And the size 16 was 47 inches for your hips and 32 inches for the waist. Now, I would have to say there are a few things that I need to say about this pattern before I give you my review, like the complete review. So that way, if you decide to get this pattern, you know what to watch out for. So number one, the length of the view that I chose. So I chose view D, which is the longer pair of shorts that have a smaller hem. So for view C, you have the hem, you have a wider hem band, and the band is not a separate band like a band pattern piece. It's just a marking on the pattern, on the short pattern, and it indicates how thick you're going to roll up that hem to create this this band look for view C. Now for view D, if you do that view that I did, is showing here on the model that the shorts rest in the high hip area there around the thigh. And I would have to say that on me, I'm 5 feet tall, so 5 foot tall, and I would have to say that it was pretty much by my knee, around my knee area. So if you want this style that they are showing on the cover of the envelope, you might have to shorten your pattern if you are short like me. But if you're 5'6" or somewhere around there, you might not have to do any adjustments. Now, if you don't mind having your shorts at your knee, if you're around my height, then you don't have to worry about it. So for me, I didn't really care about it, so I just left it. You'll see the two variations that I have made and where they rest on me. So I made a black pair and then I made a gingham white and black pair. So you'll see those two today. And as I'm in the process of making this video, I'm thinking about making another pair. I haven't made that pair yet. And so if I do, I'll make sure that I include photos here so you can see what that variation looks like as well. I want to make a pair with linen. So either a red linen or a blue linen or, you know, something like that. So if I decide to make those, you'll see those as well. So I don't really have to wait to make that pair to give you my review, because I've already made two pairs and I know exactly the size and everything and the measurements, like if it's true to size and all that stuff. And so I'll tell you that here in a moment. So I just wanted to say from the outset, just in case I forget, that what you see for view D in terms of the length, I think it's accurate for someone who's taller than me. And you're not going to get like these thigh-high shorts if you are short like me. You will have to cut your pattern to get this particular design. So in terms of fabric suggestions, you have chambray, cotton shirting, crepe, and crinkle gauze. That's for A and B. So that's for your top. For view C and D, it's gabardine, lightweight denim, linen blends, and twill. I would also add to that like any type of poplin or sateen, those types of garments. If you want a drapier feel or something like that, I would say maybe a twill, like kind of like a viscose type twill. Those types of things would also be really great. You also need lining fabric for your pockets and lightweight fusible interfacing. You need for view A and B, which are your tops, you need buttons. So just keep that in mind. For view C and D, you need a 7-inch zipper. So this is for your pair of shorts there, and one hook and bar closure. Now, I omitted the zipper and I added buttons, 3 buttons to the front of my garment. Very easy and simple to do if you are someone like me and you're in that average or that intermediate to advanced sewing stage. It'll be really easy to do. You don't have to change out your fly front or anything like that. I just use my fly front as my button closure there instead of a zipper closure. Really simple and easy to do. And then I use the underfly part of it where the buttons would go. So, and I'll share with you what that looks like here so you can see. And yeah, and I just measured how many, based on how many buttons I want on the front. I just measured where I wanted those buttonholes to go. Very simple and very easy. From my calculations, about 3 would do it. And I use 3/4 inch buttons. So just to give you some idea as to what I did with my garments. So again, I chose size 16, 47 inches for the hips, 32 inches for the waist. For the hips, I felt like it was really spot on. My hips are 42 inches. That's my finished measurement for my hip. For the waistline, my waistline is about a 31 and a half. And I decided I'm going to try this 32 because every time I make pant patterns and I try to account for about 2 inches of ease or 1.5 or 2 inches of ease, the pattern tends to be very big on my waist. So I was like, this time I'm going to try the 32. Like I know my my waistline is about a 31 and a half, but I'm going to try the 32 and see how it works. It is a little bit snug. And so for my first pair, which is the black pair, it is a little bit snug around the waist. However, it still fits comfortably for me anyway. Now with my black pair, I didn't do any changes or alterations at all. I sewed it straight from the envelope. And so what you're seeing is how it is for view D, straight out of the envelope with no adjustments. Now, with that said, the crotch area is a little bit too high. And it just didn't feel very good in that crotch area. And so for the second pair, I lowered the crotch by a 1/2 inch. I think that may have been a little too excessive. I might go back and do it more around like 3/8 of an inch maybe. But that 1/2 inch did give me a little bit more room, and it feels so much better with that 1/2 inch adjustment at the crotch area that I lengthened it in that area. So that's the only change I did to the pattern after the fact. Now with this gingham pair, because I use gingham, I tried really hard to match the sides and I tried hard to match the front. But as you all know, with pants, your back is often a little longer than your front. And so I had a hard time matching the gingham perfectly, but on the sides, they're pretty great. And then also on the front where the buttons are, that matched really great. But with that said, it was really hard for me to get the lower hem area to match. And so in my efforts of doing that, I was chopping off fabrics and trying to follow the line of the gingham to try to create like this very symmetrical and like very even line, and also have the ginghams match on both legs, on the right and the left, and the front and the back. And it just was not working. It was not working at all. And so I decided to add a black band at the bottom because it just frustrated me so much. So I added this little small black band to the lower edge. But in my efforts of trying to do that, I ended up cutting off, I think, maybe an inch and a half. I cut off about an inch and a half, trying to play with it and trying to cut it and get it straight. And then finally I gave up and I was like, I'm just going to add a band. It'll look really cute because I had a black band on the top anyway. And so it'll look, like I designed it that way. So it looks great with the band on there, the gingham on the left and the right side of the garment in the front, as well as in the back. They don't match up at the lower edge. However, you can't really tell because I have that black band down there. Now, to create my band, I just follow the front and the back pattern piece at the lower edge where they have the self band included onto the pattern. I just basically follow that same guideline, but I didn't make my band that wide. I believe that band, I don't know how wide that band is, but I made my band 3 inches wide, but I also, that includes my seam allowance, right? For sewing the band onto the garment, and then also for closing off the raw edge of the garment. So it included those seam allowance there. And so I would say my band is a little over a half an inch wide, maybe 3/4 of an inch wide on the lower edge. That's the finished band width. So I want to go ahead and update this video because I did make 2 more variations of the Butterick 6946, the short pattern here that I am doing a review of. And I made a red pair with a rayon linen that I purchased from Joann. It's a beautiful linen, and I was just very pleasantly surprised by how it handled in the wash. I was able to wash it 2 times, and it retained its color as well as the drape and the feel. And as you know, with some linens, as you wash them, they do get softer over time. So that is the case. That was the case for this pair of linen trousers as well. So I absolutely love these shorts and they fit really nicely. I will say, because I chose the size 18, that was 34 inches for the waist, and I believe 47 or 49 inches for the hips. So it does have quite a bit of room in the hip area for me. My finished hip measurement is about a 42. So that's quite a bit of ease there. I would definitely like to go to maybe 45, 46. I think a 49 is a bit excessive. However, I do like the drape and the way that it feels. I did also the modification to the crotch line where I increased the crotch line by, I believe, a half an inch. For this one, I think I did 3/8 of an inch, and for the size 16, I did a half an inch. And so it does have a little bit of extra room in that area. I don't think I need that adjustment. In fact, for the size 18, I would actually leave out that crotch adjustment next time, or even reduce it so that way it doesn't have so much bagginess in that area. So I did like the trousers. They do fit pretty well. Like I said, I had the size 34, and so it was a little bit big. I think when I go into my next project, because I will be making more, I think I will go in between the size 16 and the 18 so that I can get more of like a 33, maybe a 33 and a half, maybe somewhere around there. I think the 34 inches is a little bit too excessive for my waist, and the 32, I just need a little bit more room. So I think a 33 would probably be really great. If I'm being honest, I think that 33 would be perfect for me. And then in terms of the accessories and things like that that I use for the size 34, I used a few belts to kind of cinch in the upper part of the waistband there, because like I said, the 34 is a little bit too big. And so I think for this pattern, if you like your garments, especially your pants or your shorts, to sit at your natural waistline, and you only need about a 1 inch or 1.5 inch room for ease. I think that you can omit the belt if you select the appropriate size. But if you want a little bit more ease than that, than 1 or 1.5 inches, I would definitely say you would need a belt with it. So I also made with the size, let's see, the size 16. I went back down to the 16 after making the size 18 and finding that it's a little bit too big. I decided to make a pair of corduroy trousers or shorts with the fabric that I made the tapioca trousers with. And so I had some fabric left over, and I still have some more fabric left over. And this is a 100% cotton corduroy shirting type fabric, but it's not. It's kind of like your light to medium weight corduroy thin wool fabrics that you can use either for shirts or for light breezy shorts. And I decided to make a pair of shorts with this fabric because I loved it so much with the tapioca trousers. I decided that I would like to make a pair of shorts so that I can wear this fabric, this beautiful printed fabric, in the summer as well. So I made the size 16. And just like all of my variations, I decided to include button holes and buttons on the placket there. It's really easy to do. You don't really need to do anything additional to your button band or your fly front there to create a button and buttonholes there. You just need to just measure how many buttons you want on the front of your fly, and then just kind of, measure accordingly. I think I did mine's 2 inches apart, and I have three buttons. They're 3/4 inch buttons, and they are pretty big. I wanted the bigger ones so that they can hold much longer. They were really simple, easy to sew. I only had that minor adjustment that I had to make to the front crotch area there, which was too high up in my crotch area. Again, just for reference, I am short-waisted and short in the torso and also around that crotch area. And so you may or may not need to adjust. It just depends on if you are long in that area or not. I'm very short in that area, and so it was very snug up in my crotch, and I had to really release that a little bit. The back, I didn't really need to release it as much as the front. However, because I made the adjustment to the back, I also made the adjustment to the front. It's not saggy or droopy or anything like that because I made that adjustment to the front. It makes for a better fit, actually. So it's really fun for that reason there. So I think that's all I really did for this pattern. The pattern features a waistband. Like I said, you have that hook and bar closure at the waistband. You also have slanted pockets, which are really fun. And yeah, it's just a really simple, easy pattern to sew. You can sew this up in a couple of hours and be done with it. I really like the way that my garments turned out, like I said, and I'll go ahead and put pictures throughout the video so you can actually see what it looks like. I will say this also, I have some light to medium weight denim that is between a 4 and 6 ounce. I think that would also work, or any type of lightweight shirting type corduroy, that would also work. So just giving you some ideas of what might work for you. Oh, by the way, I am wearing the Sagebrush top by Friday Pattern Company. I really like this top. It's one of my favorite tops. I've made 3 or 4 of these, and they are so fun to wear. Absolutely love it. I changed the neckline around on it. Anyway, if I posted the review yet, I'll put the link in the description box below. If I haven't posted it, stay tuned for that review. But anyway, that is today's review of the Butterick B6946. Let me know in the comment section below if you intend to buy this pattern, or if you have bought this pattern, and if you made the pattern, let me know what type of fabric and all that stuff that you are intending to use. Thank you for staying throughout the rest of this video if you stayed this far, and thank you for coming and watching the channel today. I hope you all have a blessed and happy sewing week, and I can't wait to talk to you all in the next video. Bye.